What was your how didn't they notice moment? I was playing hide and seek at a friend's with her younger nieces. I was a teenager and not super committed to playing games with a couple of 8-year-olds, and as a joke I put myself in a corner between a wall and a bookshelf, picked up a pillow off the bed, and held it in front of my face. I was immediately visible once you cleared the doorway. I'm not a small person, and from the chest down I was just a person standing, completely unobstructed. The kids came through, looked right at me, and kept searching with growing confusion. The friend, my age, came in behind them thinking I'd gotten somewhere in the closet, and I had to actually wave to catch her attention. Her dad even came through to join the hunt, and I had to actually clear my throat to get him to notice me. Nobody was able to spot me on their own. I was just standing, in plain sight holding a pillow in front of my face, but nobody noticed. Once everybody figured it out they were in hysterics. No one believed I'd been just standing there the entire time. They were certain that I had been hiding elsewhere in the house and then got caught after I'd moved. Nope. You'll just can't see. One day my sister mentioned in front of my dad that she'd been helping me rearrange furniture at my house. Mentions my boyfriend. My dad is all surprised. You and your boyfriend sleep in the same room? By that point, we'd been living together for 6 years. It was my BF's house. My parents had been over dozens of times. Where did they think I slept? Oh, we assumed you slept in the guest room. By yourself. Edit. My family is Asian. We had a Christmas tradition of all like 20 of us cramming into my grandparents' 3 Brit/1.5 bath ranch house. I hated it with a passion, because I never ever got a decent sleep or shower or shit for the 2 to 3 nights we'd be there. There was a 3-year period where my boyfriend/later fiance joined us for Christmas. My mom was so horrified at the idea of other people seeing us sleep in the same house that she paid for us to get a hotel room. She only got us one room, but she lied and told everyone it was 2 separate rooms. The results were too much in my favor for me to complain, plus it's so absurd it's more funny than offensive. Best 3 Christmases ever. She finally stopped when she let slip to a cousin that she did it because she was worried about the children seeing them sleeping like that again, only in the same house with 20 other people, not the same bed or even bedroom, and my cousin busted out laughing, told her she needed to get over it, and that they all knew we'd been living together for like 5 years by that point and they weren't so dumb as to think we kept separate rooms. I went for a job interview when I was 6 months pregnant. I wore a fitted pencil skirt and a fitted short blazer over the top. To my eyes the pregnancy was obvious. I was very slim, and I had a belly that poked out at the front, well defined by the fitted outfit I wore. They didn't ask anything about it during the interview, so I assumed they were okay with it and didn't volunteer it. Got the job, and on the first day, at orientation, I got introduced to 2 other women who had been hired the same day for other roles in the admin office I was in. One was accounting assistant, one was admin coordinator, and I was admin assistant/receptionist. The 2 other women were also pregnant. One looked enormously so, and as it turned out we were all due within the same week. The woman who hired us said to me happily that they were very excited to have us all start, and I would be getting trained by the new admin coordinator, so I could take over some of her responsibilities when she went on maternity leave. I had to tell them that I was also very pregnant as well, and would be needing to go on leave at the same time as the other 2 girls. The organization was stunned and didn't know what they were going to do when we all went on leave. Fortunately they were very comfortable with me coming back to work and bring my baby with me after 2 months off. It worked out great, and I stayed working there for around 8 years. Incidentally all 3 of us gave birth within a day of each other, hahaha. Cue me and the boys playing hide and seek senior year. It's nighttime. Dark. It had previously rained. The only light is from street lights in my friend's garage. Friend A counts to 20 in the garage. We all scatter around the outside of his house and a bit further to some other houses. I decide to hide not 10 feet away, in the shadow of an AC unit right outside the garage. I was wearing full black, and I pulled my hood down to cover my entire face. I was in a crouched fetal position. I heard friend A walk past me about 5 times, from both directions. I peeked once, and he even glanced directly my way. I was in plain sight. I felt like a ninja. I used to do customer service for a video game. Can't give details. Don't wanna get sued. Wherein I responded to email tickets. Before sending a ticket, you were required to create an internal note wherein you documented their response and what your response was going to be, plus any additional necessary info to help conduct a search. Once, I wrote in the internal describing their message saying, "Customer sent me a bunch of useless fucking shit." Because, well, they had. After repeated clear instructions, they failed to send me the correct info. So I typed it to unleash the rage. Thought I deleted it. Then the next day I come in and see I have a response, and I go to start a new internal note and realize I had, in fact, left that line fully in the previous internal note, which can't be deleted or edited. Meaning that if anyone from the company or my workplace saw it, well, I'd be in a lot of shit. Thankfully, I did this around the holidays and we were swamped with other issues, so no one did any audits of tickets that week. Needless to say, I never played around with that again. So this was when I was still living with my hyper-religious and peculiar mother. Because she doesn't understand technology at all, I was able to get away with a lot. I played Skyrim in secret, and she was used to me playing games, so she just ignored me for the most part if I was gaming in my room. If she knew I was playing Skyrim, with its dragons, Draugr, mages, Daedra, vampires, etc., she probably would have taken my PS3 and burned it, grounded me for months, and slung hours of Bible guilt trips at me. Anyway, I had been playing for a bit, probably 30-50 hours into my first playthrough. My first time encountering a Draugr Deathlord. You know, the ones that fuss road at you across the room. I was, foolishly, naively, playing without headphones when I got blasted across the room 4 times in rapid succession. Suddenly I hear footsteps and pause the game just before my mother bursts into my room, looking from me to THTV screen with the sort of horrified, suspicious look anyone raised by hyper-Christian parents is familiar with. While I had paused the game, it was just the journal screen which is translucent, and you can see gameplay behind it. I happened to be face to face with a Draugr just then, and had the Mace of Moloch Bal equipped. I thought for sure I was screwed. She asks, "What are you playing?" It sounds like a war game like Call of Duty or something. I heard explosions and missiles. I told her no, I wouldn't play such a game, because I know she doesn't like them, and I've seen the gameplay and regardless it's not my cup of tea. True. Her face brightened. "Oh okay. Sorry to interrupt you," and flounces out. I heaved a sigh of desperate relief, and started shopping for headphones. My boyfriend and I initially started dating in high school. Our friend group was me, and a bunch of guys, and I was relatively new to the group, and worried I'd become his girlfriend if we went public too quickly, so we kept it quiet. We later stopped caring, but it was too far in to make an announcement without seeming weird, so we decided to just admit everything if anyone ever asked, but not bring it up ourselves. Well, we weren't the couple that was all over each other in public, but we were fairly affectionate, always sitting next to each other, talking somewhat privately, playfully poking and all that. We would also hold hands on our way out of school when we didn't see anyone around. That last one is what nearly caused problems the most. Regularly someone would come up behind us and say hi, and we'd quickly drop our hands. They never seemed to notice. Shockingly, our friends were really oblivious. We figured that they were probably noticing, but not saying anything. Until one day, somehow a conversation arose about how some people are closer in our group than others. Both of our names are mentioned, and they all say that we seemed like close friends. Somehow they all noticed we were close, but never put 2 and 2 together. I know this because of the shock they experienced when they finally properly found out. We are still together, by the way. Sorry for my English, I'm Russian and wrote this with Google Translator. It may seem strange, cause in English there are no such words as in Russian. Point jokes about girag is very funny in this context. Like when I was 14 we rested in a summer camp, and in the middle of the camp shift, when all the counselors went to drink, when we all sleep, we decided to run away from the building and go for a walk through the forest. We put pillows under the clothes so that if the teacher came in, she thought that we were sleeping, and we started to leave one at a time. During this, one girl started to leave the girl's bedroom. She opened the door very slowly and creakily, and this woke up the teacher. We started very quickly, and the senior counselor noticed us, and we ran away. I've never run so fast. We ran to the farthest building, and turned into the woods. I was in a camouflaged windbreaker. Then they caught up with us, and we had to hide in the grass and small bushes. I sat in front of everyone, and here the counselors with flashlights come in. The distance is about 10 meters and they shine right on me. But by some miracle they didn't notice me. Apparently camouflaged color really helps. When we didn't know what to do, we decided to just give up. We went back to the building. They scolded us and threatened to drive us out of the camp, but everything ended well.